only me on the camera, so they don't know who you are.
A mystery will be revealed, but not now.
One day.
First of all, congratulations on the GPHG award.
Thank you, with Haute-Lens, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a well-deserved nomination. So first off, the first question would be, I think, on the new model of the Streamliner.
Yeah.
So
what I'm wearing now.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece. But I think every watch collector is interested. What was the motto, and at what stage you understand, realize that you need the microrotor in the movement?
I think it's always been a dream, grow. I like traditional watchmaking. I like movements. I like to push a little bit or expand the horizons of Moser. We have a wide range of movements, always focusing on the large power reserve. And traditionally, they're pretty big movements, which limits us in the size of the watches we produce. So we thought, what do we want to do next? Do we want to do a very simple hand-wound movement, smaller, or do we want to do something different like the microrotor? I personally like microrotor because also, especially in sporty watch, it allows you to have a screw-down crown. And kind of an automatic yet very, very compact. So that's why a few years ago we decided to start working on a microrotor to be able to create smaller watches.
Yeah, and I guess the color choice was beautiful because everyone wanted something slimmer than the chronograph, but yet to be in the Streamliner form factor. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, and we said, if we want to make smaller diameter, you need to be slimmer as well. And then the choice of the dial for me, it's because to start I wanted to make like something incredible, a lot of craftsmanship, and the enamel dial is very difficult to make, and that makes it even more special. And when you launch something, you want to make it, striking, so that people recognize that you went in every detail of the development of that particular model. So microrotor, enamel dial, that's an amazing combination. And it's blue. A lot of people like.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very good start.
You like.
Yeah, everyone likes it. I think one of the secrets probably, and we realized that in creation of the Streamliner, a lot of people got involved, but is there any specific name of the designer? I know it might be a secret, but...
No, there's no secret. So there's not that many people that got involved. I can tell you, everybody really got involved. So in the core team, there was my brother Bertrand, Nicholas, head of sales. They're sitting here. Myself, obviously. Maurizio is the head of production. There's Vas, who is in charge of product. Projects, and then the key designer is Markus Eilinger. He just developed the Leica watches. He worked for IWC many years. He developed the Endeavor collection for us, and then we asked him to help us on the Streamliner. But also somebody who contributed, and it's not that well known. He's known, but it's not that well known. Is the guitar bass player of U2, Adam Kleyton.
Oh, really?
He was kind of a sparring partner. We would share ideas, show him. He likes watches, he's a big collector, he's a friend, and with great opportunity to go and see some concerts. And every time we would meet, show the developments of that particular watch, and he would give us feedback. So that was pretty cool.
That's interesting. That's an interesting mix of
people. Yeah. Well, you don't want to have too many people because otherwise you dilute your. To be honest, at some point when we started with the bracelet, and then we had the choice between a round shape or a cushion shape, and it was pretty much 50-50. And I really wanted to go all the way. So that's in rare occasion I pushed my ideas through, and that was when I said no, we cannot do a round watch here. We have to go cushion shape, and I think it was the right choice. I think we all agree now that it was the right choice.
Yeah, I think it really worked on the model.
It does. I mean, it works with this bracelet, and it's so different in comparison with what everybody else is doing.
We are noting that slowly Moser is overpassing the 1,000 watches per year mark.
A lot more now.
Yeah,
almost 3,000. It's 3,000 this year.
So the question would be, is there any particular number that would make you feel comfortable? I mean, like in a way, to be still so individualistic in watches, and yet so that it is not affecting the economy of the watchmaker.
I think right now, with the network we have, I think if we continue to grow to about 5,000, we'll be very strong in the market. I think our retailers will be satisfied with what they get. There's a lot of frustration right now of retailers not getting enough watches. A lot of people trying to get a Streamliner or a Pioneer and not getting them. which is good for the secondary market, not so good because you want people to wear your watches. So I think we probably need to grow to 5,000 in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah. Another thing that we pointed out is that there's not much of a secondary market on the Moser watches. I guess it's because the collectors would rather want to keep it in their safe hands. Yet still, for the models that are, is there any plans on coming up with some Moser certified or something like that?
It's a good question. Yeah, we're working on a certification with the pure players like Watchbox or even Buchor to certify their secondary market. There's not a lot, but there are. I think on Chrono 24 there's about 350 watches at the moment, and a lot of historical, but a few new. We look at it carefully. I think it's important to monitor that, see where the prices are, who is trying to sell, why are they trying to sell, and we're very careful in reading the data there. It's a lot of information for us as a brand.
That's promising. Another question that we had from one of our viewers was, is there any possibility or is there any aim to go in with some limited editions in the nearest future?
Every now and we will do some more collaborations. We've done that in the past. What we try to avoid is too many market-specific limited editions. We do every now and then. We did one this year for China, which, well, it's not only China, but it's a limited edition around our lunar solar perpetual calendar, which is a world premiere. This is a limited edition, but we do less and less limited editions because Moser struggled in the past by lack of efficiency, and creating too many limited editions slows down your processes. And that's very dangerous for a brand like ours. I think if we want to remain competitive and be able to offer, I think what are quite interesting prices for what you get, we need to stick to editions and not too much limited editions.
Another question from myself, and maybe a suggestion. So I'm a proud owner of the Streamliners, so actually two of the Streamliners. The only, well, not the concern, but the suggestion would be, will there be anything like a micro adjustment in future? Because I love the watch, but whenever you're coming up from the summertime to the wintertime, I have to, like manually change it a little bit, twist, so that I could wear it. Yeah.
So we have, as you know, the half link and 1.5 links. That's already available. Mm-hmm. But we are working on a micro adjustment. But it's going to be a little bit like the Pioneer. We just redesigned it. It's less integrated. It's not going to be fully integrated like the original class, but it's an option. So you can get it in addition. And in the meantime, long term, my dream is to have a butterfly clasp with micro adjustment, but that requires a little bit longer. So the first one will be a 2 blades clasp, like we have in the Pioneer and the rest of the collection, and but with the Streamliner strap or bracelet design. So yes, it's coming. But again, it's not going to be so not most of the people prefer to have a very sleek, streamlined bracelet. Yeah. But for those who want this option, it will be available.
That's great. So I think the last question for now, so that we don't take your time, would it be, for the past year, there's been so many novelties and all of them were quite awesome. Everybody likes it. Maybe you could tease our viewers and say if there is anything else to come in next year or maybe even December this year.
In 2023, I don't think we have any launch anymore. Next year, there's going to be a lot of cool things. We're going to have 2 great collaborations. It's going to be pretty cool. Really 2 amazing models there, and then we're going to have some very interesting new models. We started exploring skeletons, so you can expect more of those next year, and probably the comeback also of the Streamliner Center Second.
That's a very nice tease. Okay, so yeah, I think with this we will just end the interview. We have a very small interviews, just not to tease our viewers, but we would expect you to come to Kazakhstan. Maybe
I hope so. Yeah. I said maybe around just after Watches and Wonders.
Okay. So we will be waiting for that, definitely. Anyways, thank you very much.
Thank you.